Yeah, I want to address the situation with the con artist in actually the established financial world and actually on YouTube and bloggers, internet. I'm more like an accounting guy, but I'm more like a workaholic accounting guy. But I read a lot. My, I don't know. I think I got more common sense than the average person out there. But, I'm going to say this in favor of the gold silver crowd. Not one person in the brokerage field would have told you to buy physical gold and silver back in 2001. And it's about 5 times higher now, approximately 4.5, 5 times higher. And it's going through a long correction period. But this is the deal. The brokers don't make money when you buy stuff like physical assets like that. They don't make money on that unless you're investing in some financial instrument that they have control over. They're basically like ambulance chasers, and I'm going to say this. The reality is, all the people, they got this echelon, and all these people that sell like financial instruments, whether it's through insurance companies or whatever the hell it is, bankers, whatever, insurance or whatever, or boutique brokerage firms, they all have a sales pitch. And part of that sales pitch is, the office, the way it looks, Well, I'll ad lib here. I got some. These aren't even books back here. It's mostly, I don't even have books anymore. I have like data storage everywhere. I don't even use books. But actually, when you walk in any doctor's or attorney's, I'd say attorney's office or CPA's office, they'll have a whole pile of books out there in the shelves, like walls of it and stuff. They don't look at that shit. They use the computer. There's special software for everything. So, but it's part of the image. It's part of the sales pitch, and actually, that counts. That counts a lot. So the established people do it, and with all the degrees and everything else, and the fly-by-night bloggers and stuff on YouTube and Alex Jones and whatever, they do it too. They all do it. Now, I picked up on Bob Chapman a while ago. Actually, when I first put this out, man, I was getting hammered for, it was like 50-50. But, basically, you can look up anybody on FINRA, like in other words, broker check. It's public information. It's not like a big secret, But, I'm familiar with some stuff. Actually, I'm more familiar with a lot of shit than people on YouTube are. And that's why I decided to get on here, because I said, man, I can put out a lot more information than they can. And I know more shit than they do in a lot of ways. Because I saw through it a lot. Now, Bob Chapman, I looked him up on FINRA. This is like a couple years ago, actually, and I put it out there in a video. But, if you're a broker, you have a Series 7 license usually. Not just a Series 6, Series 7. It's pretty damn tough license to get. Actually, most people fail that license. It's actually probably tougher to do than a CPA test. Then I think there's a very tough actually continuing education. I think 6 months or so many days after that. And then after that, I think you got like every year or 2 years. I don't know what it is. I forgot, But Series 7 license really shows that you know your stuff. You got to understand a lot. It's a tough test, right? And there's a Series 6, not as tough. It's still a pretty tough test. But if you're a broker, you'd be a Series 7 more likely. Bob Chapman was neither one of them. He was a Series 1, Series 40. I'm looking at it right now, and a Series 63. So actually, he got reprimanded. And it's right on the internet. I mean, it's public information. You can look up anybody. He got reprimanded a bunch of times for selling securities without the proper licenses. So he's on Alex Jones, right? I don't want to pick on this guy too much because I don't think he's really a bad guy. I don't know what the hell the deal is, but well, maybe he isn't. Maybe he isn't so good. But there's another stories out there I dug up from a while ago on him that he was involved in Sedona software or some crap with some merger or something. I don't know. And he got involved in some SEC investigation. The Sedona software was another one. They had like $15 in cash or something like that, and it was part of something he was pushing. I forgot what it was exactly, but he got in trouble for a bunch of shit. That was really why the brokerage firm got closed down. All right. Now, Alex Jones, of course, doesn't know any of this shit, right? Yeah, bullshit. That's why I picked up on that guy big time. He's a load of it. They all are. But is John Corzine trustworthy? Hey, man, he's top of the world, man. Goldman Sachs, right? He's got a Series 7. Actually, John Corzine, actually, you know, what I read about him, he was very much like a trader's trader. He would be out wanting to know what's going on in the action every day. Like a lot of guys that were in his position that ran the whole show, they wouldn't even care. But now he was in it. That's why he made a bet and lost. He lost. John Corzine lost. You think he was trying to lose? Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, he has all the education. He had some inside information, which is probably a lot better than the inside information you get from Lindsey Williams. And guess what? He lost. Actually, big guys lose. You know. But I want to point out that even the guys that are, you know, the established stuff, a lot of times it's an age-old type thing. And you experience people in, like, you know, that sell like annuities and all this kind of stuff. And they're managing other people under them selling annuities. They know that the more initials that you have after your name, the more successful you will be in convincing some Joe and Martha Smuckatellis that to put their money in with you. You know what I mean? They are salespeople too, and they're told to push certain things. And you know, if you want to really see what, like, the big investments that went and blew up in people's faces, look what happened. Like, I mean, not just, you know, some of the famous things that went on. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about even what happened with these mortgage-backed securities. You know, Max Kaiser, you know, he's a scam artist, but well, I think he is anyway, because he's Bitcoins and now, you know, he's whatever. But you know, he talks about you take some good stuff and you mix it in with some bad stuff, and then you sell it. In other words, with finance, like in other words, you got tiers on a financial instrument. Like if this goes bad, you're still good. If this goes bad, you're still good until you reach up to this point. In other words, that's why you could throw some garbage instruments in with something else and package it, repackage it. There's a lot of stuff like I don't understand. You know, I forgot the details on a lot of shit, but basically it's like, you know, if you have some bad securities you got to get rid of, you can repackage it in something else, some other package that somebody else will buy. So even like there's enough good stuff in here that it should hold together under normal circumstances. But what happened in the real estate crash was all this stuff crashed. You know, it actually got into the higher tiers, and then all this stuff crashed. And how many people lost money on buying into that type of stuff? How many people lost money into buying into real estate? How many brokers were out there and real estate brokers that went upside down and all kinds of shit? Oh, plenty of them. And they were experts. And they knew the market for 20, 30 years. Hey, it's never going to go down that much. I mean, yeah, I can compare that. You know, that's a good example. Like, that's why even the best people in the gold and silver market are probably, they're not going to know. They're not going to know. But I'm trusting what Mark Faber's doing, because this guy's had the devil sense too many times. And, you know, a lot of people recognize that now. But you know what? A little common sense will tell you. What's going to happen with all this debt going out? Everybody's saying it, 101. What's happening with all this debt in all these countries? Where's it? How's it going to get paid back? Ever. Never, right? I mean, in other words, and actually what Lindsey Williams says about the debt, it's a game. It's a game. You got a bunch of loan sharks creating money out of nothing and loaning it to the government, and it's being paid back with interest from people's taxation. Right? I mean, yeah, in principle, Lindsey Williams is right, but as far as his calls on when oil is going to specifically be a price, or when silver is going to be 75, he's been way the hell off on shit. But you know, I actually personally didn't expect a correction of gold and silver to go on this long either. But you know, it might not have if there was a war with Iran. And actually, there was very close to, I said this before, but it was very close to be a war with Iran. Netanyahu almost went ahead and did it. If that happened, oil would have went through the roof, gold would have went through the roof too. Why? Because it's basically, that's an age-old principle. During uncertain times, if you look back at gold, and actually silver starts taking off then too. If you look back at uncertain times, it's always been pretty much over Middle East tensions. If there was a major war going on, and you know, all you'd have to do is, you know, one Saudi pipeline, actually a rumor of a blow up on one Saudi pipeline, I think it was like maybe almost a year ago, caused oil to go up to 111 a barrel. And so if there's I mean, it'll freaking go to 150, 200 like nothing. That's where Lindsey Williams will be right, but he doesn't know any specific dates because he's passed out specific dates. He's been way wrong. But you know, I don't think anybody knows. But it's quite obviously the scenario is coming down. You know, at one point in time, Iran's going to get attacked, and that's actually, you know, going to be a damn mess and a half. I'm not saying it's morally correct, but I think that's what's going to happen. Financially, you'll be better off in gold, oil, and silver at that time, big time. And you know, I want to point something else out. You know, like, not that I have special knowledge from, you know, my uncle or whatever. He was a CPA in New York City, and he had his own firm in the Chrysler building, and he had like a lot of top-end clients. He used to have accountants working for him and that type of stuff. He was actually listed in Who's Who in the business world, you know, and he used to call it Price Waterhouse, PW, like I always call it PW, but he used to say PW stood for poor workers. He's got kind of an ego, but it was, he's no longer alive, but he was very much the top of his game, top of his field in New York City as a CPA. But you know, I'm going to tell you this: what happened with Price Waterhouse? They had, you know what? It used to be the Big 8 with the accounting firms. Then it was the Big 5. Then I think it's the Big 3 now. What happened with Enron? Didn't they have the best and the brightest do some kind of crap that was against basically counting 101 rules? You trust those guys because they got initials after their names? I don't. They're bullshit. They're bullshit too. You know, the one thing I'm kind of harping on is you got to be a happy medium with this gold and silver. You know, Brother John F. puts out a lot of cool statistics. I don't really watch him or nothing, but he got a lot of cool statistics on how many ounces of gold and silver left in the world and how much is being mined and what the government debt is and all this kind of crap. Fine. But, you know, it's not helping with predicting the price movements too much. But, you know, it's like you got to watch that you don't put all your money in gold and silver too. Because not everything on a piece of paper is going to oblivion. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You might see government paper go to oblivion. Government-backed bonds, that go to oblivion. But you know, strong companies that are producing stuff that people have to have or want to have, and they're still producing it, and you got, you know, certificate, stock certificate, it says piece of paper, but you got a share in that company that's still going to be worth something, man, and it might actually go up a lot. So, you know, there's two extremes out here, right? And the other thing is when you buy gold and silver, you got to think about it could be a few years down the road. And then when it goes up, you know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to come out of the woodwork and tell you, no matter, even if it doubled, even if it went up, blew through 50 like butter, they're going to tell you it's going to go to 100. No matter how high it goes, you're going to have a gazillion people telling it's going even higher. So, like I would say, is cautiously sell it. And don't think that you're buying fiat paper, because every business in the world, when they sell stuff, they have temporarily have fiat paper. But the thing is, they always think about their next capital investment. You know? So, there's con artists out there everywhere. Actually, I think Alex Jones is a big pile of BS, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's partly why I got on this shit. Because, you know, I'm getting aggravated at some of the stuff I'm seeing. And I'm realizing, you know, it's actually, the truth is partly true with what the silver bloggers are saying. But I think the guy that, like I've been said it 50 million times, I think the guy that gives you the most straight scoop about exactly what's going to happen is Mark Faber, and he doesn't know it for guaranteed fact. But, you know, I'm going to even tell you this, too. You know, some of the wealthiest people in the world don't actually have all the college in the world. You know? They're shrewd. They're con artists themselves. You know? As a matter of fact, there's stuff like, well, I don't want to get into that, but there's like, you know, I saw some stuff like they were trying to do trades, private placement program in billions of dollars, and I always thought to myself, how the hell are they going to make billions of dollars unless somebody else gets ripped off billions of dollars? You know? Don't matter if it's small money or big money, it's the same principle. And actually the guys on the top, even, well, you figure it out. You know, you say the elite are crooked, politicians are crooked, the banksters are crooked. They are. And then you got all the freaking prestige and initials after her name and awards and accolades there are. But, you know, on the other side of it. But, you know, I still have to say this, you know, you think about it with the silver and the gold. Nobody with initials after their names, that was no matter who they were, Series 7, Series 6, you know, their personal financial advisors, you know, have all these degrees. I forgot what the initials are for that stuff. And they would never tell you to do that because they were taught not to do, for you to do that. They're almost like the doctors, you know. Doctors learn certain things. They don't want to learn anything outside because it doesn't make money for them. If you buy a chunk of gold and it goes up, it doesn't make them nothing. So they're never going to tell you to do that. Not in a million years. You know. So actually, if you bought a hemp plant, if that was legal, you know, it's industrial hemp and not the weed where people are like, you know, freaked out about it. But say it was industrial hemp, you bought a plant and you grew another one and grew another one. Hey, you'd have all kinds of hemp money, right? They're not going to tell you to do that shit. They want you to place your money with them. And there's a hierarchy. And basically they're salespeople for higher up people. And this is why a lot of people get caught up, the middle class get caught up and get squashed. Because even the people that are selling the stuff to the middle class, they believe the bullshit they were taught. And it's not too many people that see through the bullshit. So, I don't know. The way I look at it like this, the real argument is this. It's the market against your own decisions. It's not a debate. It's the market against your own decisions. If you decide to invest your money with some Series 7 that's been in business in a brokerage firm for 30 years, go ahead. If you decide to buy some gold and silver, go ahead. What's going to really determine if you're right is the market. That's all there is to it. There's no debate. But I'm telling people to stick with the gold and silver because it's one thing I was thinking about what Mark Farber says. He kind of hoped there might be one more last shakeout before the situation is up. But he still buys every month. I'm trusting him, man. He's not one of the other guys that are bullshit. I think, and I read him as a guy that gives a shit about the middle class because actually it's in his own interest. He says he does not like what's going on where the middle class is getting fleeced and you got more and more wealth getting concentrated into the 1% or the 10th of 1% or the 1 basis point, which is probably more accurate, the 1 basis point, 100th of 1%. He doesn't like that, what's going on. It's bad medicine all the way around. Because basically, you know, you ever hear of the French Revolution? Yeah, you squeeze the people too much, they're going to revolt. So it's not good. You want everybody to get more wealthy. So it's peace all across the board, right? You want a strong middle class. It makes it safe for the elite too. So I think he's a good guy, and he's doing it not just because he's a good guy and he's got a good conscience, but he's also doing it out of his own self-interest. Because he doesn't want the backlash himself, even from, you know, the middle class that's getting squeezed. He's got a brain. Some of these other people that got bucks, they're freaking so demonic, they don't give a shit about nothing. And I pointed out, you know, a lot of them are big philanthropists on the outside because that's image control, or else they'd be lynched. It's been like that forever. Anyway, the only one you bet, the only one you debate, it's between yourself and the market. That's all there is to it.